You're out too, by the way. 18 years on, here we are.
How did we get here?
Bigger, brighter, better than ever. Well, it's been a journey, as they say. But we did it. Well, we've done it. We're still doing it, actually. Why do we do it? Because we love it, don't we?
Well, I think we do.
Yeah,
I think the fact that it's in our community and we're both passionate about our community and also the people in it and some of the stuff they do, which is produce really, really good products.
That's right. And there's all the social interaction. There's the things that go on here. I like you're saying, which is?
We're a community centre without walls.
That's right. And it is. It's a public place. It's not just about us. It's not just about buying and selling. It's an experience. It's an event. It's an event.
Is.
It is.
And it goes every Saturday, rain, hail or shine.
And it's
we're
fun.
here.
We have a lot of fun. We have a lot of laughs. Yep. It's really great. But we're so proud of the wonderful producers that we have here with us, and we'd love to take you out and show you some of these people.
Hello, I'm Helen.
And I'm David Walshaw. We're both from Kapiti Olives, and we're in the olive grove at Tihoro. I always wanted to be a farmer of some sort, but I thought growing olives would be a really nice thing to do, and very little interference and sustainable farming. I thought about growing grapes and apples and realised there was going to be a big spray regime for that, so I wasn't very comfortable about that. And olive oil there's nothing added to it, it's pure. It's the natural juice of the olive. So how nice can that be?
We were already marketing in foodstuff stores throughout New Zealand, but not in great penetration. It made sense to look for the largest and the best market in the area, and that was the Paraparaumu Beach Market. So that's where I started when I first moved up here to live permanently. And it's grown from there. So that's 10 years later, and it's been a fantastic journey. The market is extremely well run, and so it is valuable for me to go there because I have a set site and I know the conditions, and I know so many people there now that are local customers.
In the grove here we have 2,300 odd trees, and the mix of types of olives are Licino, Frantoio, Picual and Koroniki. And with those, we harvest them and they're pressed separately. And then once we taste them, and Helen does more about that than I do, and then we blend them. And our aim is to make 3 really nice blends, a stronger, more robust one, and at the other end a delicate one, and then something in between. One of the most important things, and the thing that we focus on, is quality. We feel that we're judged by our peers and judges, and in the international market, because most of the judges are international experts. And our aim in life is to win good medals for our olive oil, which keeps our credibility, if you like, in terms of this market and potentially overseas.
And this is built over a long time, like 14 years now of consistent medal-winning oils. So it's not just a one-off or an occasional thing. It's been very consistent, and I think that is the best marketing story you can have. As David said earlier, that is our goal, to produce world-class oil at an affordable price.
Coming to this market for pretty much every Saturday for the last 12 years, and I come because I love supporting local. I love the choices, and I love the connecting with the people every week.
To come here, parking is not usually a problem. Vegetables are better quality and cheaper than in supermarkets.
Hi, I'm Paul Bryce, and my mission in life is to make the best possible quality and most flavoursome European-style gourmet sausages. I was introduced to Mediterranean food when I was in my mid-20s. I, at that stage, used to work 7 days a week, and about once every 3 months I'd go down to Wellington and blob out for 3 or 4 days at a time, and I used to go to places like El Casino and Piero's, and I lived in the country, and so there were no options for that sort of food, so I thought, to hell with it, I'm going to learn how to do it. I started at some local markets initially to just test the ground and see what sort of response I was going to get. I came to the conclusion that for what I was producing, because it's a premium product and it sells at a reasonably premium price, I needed to be in an area where there were fairly sophisticated consumers. Paraparaumu incorporates that Wellington type market. I went over and introduced myself to Warwick and Kevin, and I started going there one Saturday a month initially because they already had someone doing sausages there. And we just persisted with that, and actually quite quickly the other person decided to retire, so the gap came up, and yeah, that's it. Yeah, I've been there for 14, 15 months now, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. So that really keeps me off the streets and provides me with the stimulus that I want.
It's a family event on a Saturday morning. We can bring the kids down, they love it. We get the most beautiful fruit and veg that lasts us the week, and we couldn't ask for a better market.
So I come down here and there's special things you can't get anywhere else, like ginger crunch. If I don't get ginger crunch, I'm not allowed home. I get my flowers. There's the most beautiful baked bread, which I share with my little white deer. I get the most brilliant triple shot coffee. That is just my mainliner to get me going for the day. And it's a good atmosphere. There's a lot of choice here. There's a lot of lovely things. Everything's fresh, good people, and lots of fun.
My name's Rebecca Rolls. I'm the owner of Thoroughbread, and we bake solely gluten-free bread. We have two ranges, the rice-based range, and in that rice-based range we freshly grind brown rice as part of the flour base, and also paleo, and that's our newest range. It's our biggest seller. It has freshly ground sunflower seeds, organic linseed, organic buckwheat, almonds. My whole passion for bread started about 29 years ago. We were living in a little hut. Basically it's two garages put together, and it was on 137 acres way up in the North Island, backed up against the National Forest. There's no electricity, and our driveway was half a mile long. So all we had was the coal range that would heat the water, and that's how I cooked all our food. And that sparked a real passion for me. I already loved food that I would make from scratch, and good food. And so I started baking bread for our family. I took it to the market and sold 11 loaves, and I was really rapt. So I just bought a bit more the next week, and then people kept coming back. And that was about 14 years ago, and I still going there, rain or shine, and it works really well for other people as well, because they know if they want bread, I'm always going to be there.
We come here each week, we walk around. I love buying the coffee, I love buying all the local produce. It's really great.
Love the fresh veggies and heaps of dogs, so always a good time.
I'm Corbin Halcrow, and I'm the owner and founder of Kapiti Coffee and Trade Secret Coffee, based here in Te Horo. We are the original Kapiti roaster, and we've been doing this for 8.5 years now. The thing that led me to coffee was first travel and being inspired by the coffees that I was having travelling and the coffee regions I was travelling. And then it was my region, and coming back to Kapiti and seeing that there was no identity for coffee here. and that nobody had taken that position. And I saw a massive opportunity. I saw an opportunity to create an identity for Kapiti with its coffee, and to learn from the people around me what they like, so I can learn more about my region, what I love, my industry, and those things came together. They came together here on Te Horo Beach, where I've been producing coffee for 8.5 years. After travelling and being triggered by coffee and then building this business, the next thing I did was travel again to coffee growing regions like Colombia and Guatemala, and that's when the education happened. That's when I started to learn about what high quality coffee was, the ethics of coffee, the technical side of coffee, acidity, caffeine oil, sugars. What am I trying to roast out of the coffee, not what is in the coffee originally. So we only take things away when we roast coffee. And there's an old saying, don't put all the flavour up the chimney. To be authentic and congruent and not just do the recipe that already exists. Add something to our industry. Failure of that will teach us what the industry needs, and success of that will be great for us. So there's no bad option of creating something. There was no negative in us doing this. So what I put my mind to was that cold or ambient extracted coffees preserved more of the flavours of the coffee, was able to present more of those to the cup in a consistent and just easy manner. We are super proud to supply Kapiti cafes and restaurants more so than anything. That was what we came to do. We came to be the local coffee brand for local businesses. We supply so many wonderful cafes, from Quarter Acre up in Manukau to High Tide down at Paraparaumu Beach to D4 to the Barista Boys coffee carts, and of course the most important place we sell it, which is the Paraparaumu Beach Market every Saturday morning.
Absolutely super, actually, having it right here and such a selection of fresh foods, greenery, cakes, and people about.
Absolutely love the market. Come here every week. We do our vegetable shopping and get everything we need for the weekend. Back again next week again.
Hi, I'm Mark, and this is my wife Son, and we do Son's Thai Cuisine and Son Sauces Limited. We had a Thai delegation come up from where I used to work, and we invited them up for a barbecue one time, and to make something authentic. I know Son does the food and what have you, but we didn't have a salad dressing. So in order to make something authentic, Son had a few ingredients that she had around, put it together, and basically came up with the first of Son's sauces, and Thai people loved it, and they just had a great time, and that's how Son's sauces sort of began, really. So since about 2012 we've been doing it properly. I was still working, and Son was in the background and taking them down to Paraparaumu Beach Market and selling them down there.
Yeah, and everybody enjoyed it. That like lots of people, all the friends and family, keep buy for everybody else for Christmas, and that sort of stuff. And that's how now we're getting more popular.
Yeah, so a lot of the time we get a lot of produce from the local Paraparaumu Beach Market, and unfortunately the people that get it from tend to get swamped. So we actually go up to their farm and buy it directly from them. We produce all the food that comes out of the kitchen, and also with the sauces. Things do get quite busy at times because we do the food 2 days a week, Wednesday and on a Friday.
Yeah.
So of course you've got all the preparation for that. Then on top of that, you're making sauces as well.
We stay up sometime in the long big fair we stay up to 2 o'clock in the morning to finish our product. How fresh is that?
But we're lucky we've got our son, and he helps out and does the dishes for us and helps clean and
squeeze lemon.
Squeezes all the lemons out because everything's done by hand.
Everything by hand. That's
So,
why this job is lots of work in it.
Yeah, so he's a really big help for us.
But I love the market because it's more like a family to me in the market. Every time I go there, I feel good because we are more like a little family, all the stallholders, group of us.
It's just great, and then hey, leads come on from that. So someone knows someone who possibly wants the sauces or wants catering done, and it just branches out from that. So it's a really great place, and it's central for people from Paraparaumu to go to.
I come down here every Saturday morning, and I carry my little pooch, little Oscar. I normally have him on the lead, but I'm scared that someone will trip over him. And he loves sitting up there. He's up out of the road. He looks around and he's quite happy. And as I say, I've been coming here for years now, and in fact ever since it's been going. And I get everything, all my veggies and things, and it lasts me a week.
I normally come to the market every Saturday. It's always inviting in the sense of different people doing their different things. And the market is very, very well patronised out here. The prices are very reasonable, and I think people need to support it very much so in the future.
I'm Nico, this is my wife Joanna, and we are Gallimero Organics.
We're growing cherry tomatoes and Roma tomatoes, San Marzano, baby spinach, rocket, and mesclun salad. So we are just in our inception. We built a greenhouse, 2 huge greenhouses actually. My husband built them, and we just started to plant organic produce because we thought it's something missing in New Zealand. And usually the organic produce is at a prohibitive price, and we really believe that it should be accessible for normal people to buy it. It also has to do with our heritage. I'm Romanian and my husband is Cypriot, so we come from countries with long and interesting tradition of growing traditionally without chemicals, without the use of chemicals. It's actually funny how we started this farm and this business with the greenhouses. Initially, we were living in Paraparaumu Beach in a townhouse, and we started growing them in our bedroom while we had the house on the market for sale at the same time. So every time we had the viewing for the house, we would rush with all the trays of seedlings into the garage and then show off the house. Anyway, we sold that properties, and with the money we bought this lifestyle property. The previous owners had managed it organically before us for 25 years, so that was a very good start. But it's very hard to grow outdoors organically because of the elements. And we kept looking and looking and looking for a greenhouse online, for a second-hand greenhouse, of course. And we couldn't find anything, and at some point I was so frustrated with the whole thing and the weight and the pressure, the financial pressure. So I said to him, just get in the car, drive around and come back when you found one.
We didn't have any plans whatsoever, so it was one huge jigsaw piece. It took a long time to build, in total a year to build. And
he's done it all by himself, I must say that.
Mainly by myself, but
yeah, we had to hire a digger to put it up.
We built the frames on the ground, and we hired a digger to lift the frames up, so I had help then. And to cover it with the plastic as well, we had a professional team doing that.
Actually, we knew the market from when we were living in Paraparaumu ourselves, and we used to go every Saturday to the market as customers and buy. And while we were growing tomatoes in our bedroom, and I remember thinking how wonderful it would be one day to actually be there and sell our tomatoes. I didn't think that was really possible, but anyway, when the greenhouse was ready, I thought, oh, maybe we try to approach them. I thought it would be impossible to get in because it's so popular, and I thought, oh, they're gonna give us a really hard time and probably we won't be able to make it. And I met Warwick and Kevin, and everything was so easy and nice. And we have a very small stall. It's just like really one table or 2 tables. And I think we started with 5 pallets of cherry tomatoes. It was pretty empty, our table. But it became so popular, and we have our regulars, and after the market I go and visit my old ladies and have cups of tea and lunch with them, and we became friends with some of the customers. So it's much more than a commercial setup, much more than that. It's a great social interaction, and it's really a community, and it's the closest to a community I've come across and I've seen here since I came to New Zealand.
So at the moment we're growing produce that has quick turnaround, such as spinach, mesclun and rocket, which is quite favourable with our customers at the market, and it takes about 4 weeks to grow those. And we're sticking with the tomatoes in the summertime. In winter we'll transition to, we'll still do the greens, but we'll transition as well to carrots and beetroot instead of tomatoes. And we'll see what else we can introduce without introducing too many pests.
So it's not easy, but we're very committed to keeping it this way. Even if it takes longer, we think it will be very rewarding long term.
Yeah, mate, isn't that awesome that we get these people, these amazing people coming to our market every Saturday, who produce all this incredible, like these beautiful sausages. It's oil to die for.
He makes them himself.
Foxy, yeah.
His own secret recipe.
As he says, it's all about taste.
Yeah.
It's all about taste. But he's right, it's beautiful.
And then I look at Rebecca grinding all her own corn, one small pestle, all night.
No, it's actually started.
Yeah.
This story is amazing. It's a real, makes the richest story. Young woman on her own, kids, trying to get ahead, baking her first loaf of bread on a coal range, and then now she's a superstar of gluten-free.
Wow.
And, the rock chicken paleo, it's fantastic.
And I'm impressed with this guy.
Nico and Anna.
Building his own greenhouse without any plans.
Amazing, eh?
Yeah.
And the produce is fantastic. Spray-free, which is fantastic. Organic,
And what about Son?
And this.
With their beautiful sauces, sending Mark down every Saturday. Looks like he needs a day off.
I love this stuff. It's great.
Really does. And as for the Heli Monster with this stuff, yeah.
Well, look at all the awards they've got.
I know.
Probably the best olive oil made in New Zealand. Yep, come to our market on Saturdays.
And what a great way to start our Saturday. Corb comes in, makes us a coffee.
Yep.
One of those eye poppers, boom, day starts.
You and your eye poppers.
I know. Well, it's a triple shot in a small glass. It's beautiful.
Cheers.
Good. Right. Good help.
It's a good life on the coast, isn't it, mate?
Yep. On Saturday, what a great way to relax after a hard day. A hard week at work.
Especially your job, dude.
Well, we both work. But Saturday is the fun day. Saturday is the family day.
Well, it's not like working, is it? Running the market. It's great. It's fun.
It is.
Well, we make it fun. We make it fun. We've got good people. These fabulous people.
It is about the people.
Producers.
But we've got good producers, like you say. So I know there's some that we haven't mentioned, but these guys here, they stick out. Yeah.
We can't eat everything. We'd be the size of houses, mate.
Yeah.
Seriously? Oh, no, we can't go there, Kev. We're married men. We can't do this shit.
Okay, sorry.
This could go viral and we could be fucked, you know what I mean?
And what about Glam Jam? She goes to base 3, she reckons. Oh, no, that was number 3.
No, I don't go there. Yeah. It's like, don't screw the crew, you don't get them. You don't even think about it.
She's very flexible, she told me.
Doesn't matter how good stuff, can't. No.
I'd always say no.
No.
Don't stop.
You tell me yes, you tell me no, tell me exactly where to go.
We do. Lest we forget them. Although she's on the corner there. She was one of our greats.
One of our granddads. One of our original grandmother. Yeah. No, I'm going to... Well,
swampy. So.
Can't have a floppy lead.
Yeah.
Nothing worse than a floppy lead.
I love it.
Yeah, 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 yeah.